In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, my dear friends, there are certain basic mistakes, fundamental types of mistakes which we people are seen committing either unconsciously or even consciously because of selfishness, because of self centeredness, certain basic and fundamental mistakes and errors which are actually limiting our life, minimizing our character, and even it will not be wrong if I say that these fundamental and basic natures of mistakes and errors are making us a subhuman, a human being of highly inferior character and nature, a human being who is only beneficial for oneself and for one's loved ones only, and as for the rest of the people are concerned, they are either absolutely unwilling to contribute, or even if at all they do, it is only because of the monetary and other types of returns. Dear friends, look upon the children once they are in the educational institutions. It is being perceived that as far the education is concerned, it is only meant for the obtainment of the degree, and the degree is meant for the sake of employment, for the sake of earning money, and for the sake of getting a high profile public office in the society. This is a kind of very basic nature of mistake and error, and still another, that is education is important, but as for the training is concerned, that is not so important. As for developing the humanistic characters, attitudes, and inclinations are concerned, these are unnecessary and has no important value in the society. So these are the very basic nature, the very basic nature of mistakes and errors which almost all of the people, particularly in the society like that of Pakistan, we people have developed and created. There will be certain exceptional cases only who are free of this sort of thing, my dear friend. This is absolutely something which is making us a highly inferior type of human being, a highly inferior character, and we are not a superior creature at all, if at all we look upon as far our contribution for the society is concerned, for the people in need are concerned, for the general public is concerned, we become too small, too selfish, too narrow minded, and all what we are seen doing, even if it is benefiting us, but it is meant for actually our own benefit and not for the benefit of the other people at all. But once we are that much narrow minded, once we are limiting our character that much, it is making us more and more inferior human being and not a superior or a high quality human being at all. That is something very basic nature of we must be considering it, and we must try to rectify it. As for the schooling is concerned, it should not be for the purpose of degree only, and the degree should not be for the sake of employment only. We need to learn, and we need to genuinely learn whatever knowledge, information, and and character, if wisdom is concerned, we must be trying to get it. We must be trying to get it, because that is something of highly important value. Then, not only the education, but rather it is equally important, if at all we need to train our children, and we need to try to make them as a very good, a very responsible human being, who does not take care of oneself only, rather is seen taking care of maximum number of people as much as they can, or at least taking the responsibility. Whatever I can do easily, they need to develop it. And now, moving forward, once we are in our practical life, my dear friends and fellows, we should never think, we usually think that my learning has been stopped, I don't need to get more education, I am not eligible for the further education, while the truth is that as long as we are alive, we need to learn, we need to learn, and we need to keep learning. The learning, particularly in this age, it should not be obviously for the sake of degree, but as far the learning in the early years are concerned, that too also, although the degree is a necessity, but degree should not be alone for those who are the regular students, who are studying in the classrooms. But as far we the older people are concerned, we need to keep learning, we need to keep learning. As long as we are alive, we need to keep learning, because Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that we need to seek education and knowledge from the cradle to the grave. We need to keep learning, we must not discontinue it as long as we are alive. And not only this thing, that is another fundamental mistake and misconception, is that I can only serve if at all I am given a good public office, an important public office, or I am having enough amount of money. I do have a plenty of money, and for that reason I do have a plenty of money, and for that reason, unless and until I don't have a very good amount of money, I can't serve the people, I cannot contribute, and I cannot participate in the uplift of the society. I think that is another kind of fundamental mistake and misconception. While the truth is that we need to contribute whatever we are having. If at all we are having a good amount of money, we need to give to the needy people some of it. And if at all we are unable, we don't have a sufficient amount of money, if at all we don't have a surplus of money, if at all we don't have a good income or good assets, then too we can serve the people, we can work for the humanity by contributing whatever we do have. If at all we do have the time, the information, the knowledge, the skills, or whatever we can, even smiling at the people, even treating the poor people in a responsible, in a nice manner, I think that is also a sadaqah. So keeping in view the situation prevailing here in our society, I am of the view that we desperately need to change our attitude, we desperately need to change ourselves, and these misconceptions and these basic wrongs and mistakes in our mindset, in the software of our mindset, must be eradicated, because unless and until we do that, we will not be able to prove ourselves as actually and really a superior creature. We will never be able to do that. And if at all we don't utilize our potential, our capabilities, and our resources in the best possible manner, not only for we ourselves, but for the people around as well, for the needy, some of the needy people as well, if at all we don't think globally, if at all we don't think at a wider level, we are not actually doing the right thing at all. We need to understand it, and we need to rectify, we need to correct our attitudes.